Woo, 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 woo. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? How y'all doing out there? I got a new backdrop. I know y'all like, don't show where you at. Don't worry. I'm still here at the salon. Everything is still going down. It's cool. It's cool. It's all good. But today I had to do something different. Sit in a different place with my ring light. That's right, guys. Are you guys feeling the nail polish? First of all, to those who don't know who I am, I'm your homegirl, Ladosha Wright. I am the cosmetologist and author, that's right, author extraordinaire here at the Rivers Design Team Hair Salon. I'm the author of What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon, as well as Curly Hair Adventures. And so today, I'm going to be talking about my nail polish, holla, you know what I'm saying? That's why I do have a new line of nail care that's out, and it's called the Wright Polish. So of course this nail care line is going to expand. It's going to go from polishes to base coats to top coats, you know, to cuticle oil care. It's just going to go down. I'm just going to keep it 100, all right? So that's what's going to be happening. So, but before I get into the topic today, I'm going to talk a little bit about my nail polish, and then I'm just going to go into some brief tips about cultural practices versus hair science. So you guys are gonna like this, so I'm gonna jump right to it. Now, if you wanna learn more about this, of course, you can check out my podcast. That's What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon, as well as my YouTube channel, okay? So I only have a few minutes, so I'm gonna go right to it. What's up, Carlia? I see my little second grade best friend in the chat. How you doing? Beautiful hair, because your hair always be banging. Now, I have my picture of the hair, and there's 3 layers. So we're gonna talk about that right quick. But first, let me tell you a little bit about this nail polish, okay? So I know some of y'all out here like, I don't like acrylics, I don't like gels, I don't like overlays. And you know what? I've got just the stuff for you. That's right, boo-boos. So here I have new, fresh, hot off the press. Here are these boxes that they come in. And so this is the Wright nail polish, right? The Wright polish. And I do have a collection of 12. That's right. 12 vibrant colors are in the family. We also have a trio that you can get. And this one is called 3D, as in Devere, which is my son. May he rest in peace, though we know he ain't resting. He all up in here. Can't y'all feel it? And so this right here was named after him because he was an artist. And so, you know, artists never use one color, right? They always like to mix colors up. So we have a trio here. Now you can customize, you can get your own. And so the trio costs $30, or you can get your own individual color at just $12. You cannot beat that with a baseball bat, okay? All right, so that's and let me tell you just a couple of things about the polish, and I'm gonna hop right into the topic. So the nail polishes are, number 1, cruelty-free, all right? Number 2, they are tin-free, meaning they are free of those 10 common caustic, toxic ingredients that folk don't like in their nail polish, all right? Also long lasting. I hope my nails are trying to represent. And then, like I said, you got these rich colors. So the shine is good. And so there you have it. It works. It pairs well with your favorite vegan polish, or just your regular polish. But this is not a gel. You cannot do an overlay of clear with the gel polish, the clear polish on top. So this is strictly for natural nails. And yes, it is safe for children, all right? So our signature manicure is called our duo manicures, where we always wear 2 or more colors. So if you are going to rock the Wright polish, I'm asking everybody in honor of Devere to wear at least 2 colors on your nails, and that is to bring out the artist in you. All right, so your nails might not be perfect, your life may not be perfect, but your nails are, all right? Okay, so enough of that. Let's hop right into the topic of cultural practice versus hair science, all right? So this Live is brought to you. Oh, wait, before I say that, I have to send a super duper shout out to my homegirl, Miss Denise West. So she hooked up the Wright Polish, you know, t-shirt. So I got an event that I'm going to be talking about, not this live, I'm going to talk about another one where I'm just going to do a good old-fashioned product launch and everybody's going to be invited. So I'll tell you a little bit about that tomorrow. All right, okay. All right, so now we can hop into the topic of cultural practices versus hair science. So I got my little notes over here right quick. So now the question is always, what are cultural practice? So this is my own definition. So hair care and hairstyling cultural practice is pretty much defined by a set of identified or conceived, because some people be making stuff up, right? Or conceived techniques, use of tools and practices, along with languages and attitudes that are passed down from within, all right, or across family, community, or groups, or in a group setting. So that's pretty much what you have when we talk about hair care and hairstyling cultural practices. You won't see these in the same ethnicity, you know, you won't see them in the same quote unquote race, but in a group setting, a family setting, or community, and community could be like natural hair community, all right? You will see things that are very common, and so we see a common practice that takes place within again, family, community, or group setting that I'm going to compare it against science, all right, hair science. So this is the common practice of greasing your scalp, okay? Now I'm doing this for a reason. It's because I had a young lady come in last week and her mom was on YouTube and she saw a video where the YouTuber had concocted like 5 different hair pomades and oils and all this stuff, and she put it like in a bowl, and she used a regular spoon, like a wooden spoon, and then she mixed this concoction up and she put it in her daughter's hair. Now, what I want you guys to understand when it comes to watching anybody on a social media platform, remember you have 2 things that are taking place. Number 1, it's personal. So what they are showing you on their personal platforms is, of course, their experience, all right? That's number 1. Number 2, 9 times out of 10 on social media platforms, 2 things are taking place. That is likes and follows, right? And then number 2, money. That's right. So a lot of these people get paid lots and lots of money the more people they have on their platform. So when you see this taking place, you got to understand you got 3 key things. Number 1, it's personal. Number 2, it's all about, you know, fan base. And then number 3, it's always about, well, not always, I'm going to say money, because some people are not trying to monetize their channel like me. I'm just giving up the information, all right? So you have to keep that in mind. So when the cultural practice of greasing scalp has its roots in Africa for sure, that they were putting, you know, pomades and stuff on the scalp, and of course that was for styling, and of course making the hair more manageable, and then of course perhaps addressing some scalp issues. We move into today where science has pretty much proven you don't need to do that, all right? And the reason being is because your scalp makes its own oils, provided you don't have a scalp disorder where that may not be taking place, which only a dermatologist can assess and diagnose, not a hairstylist. Please do not allow the hairstylist or trichologist, unless they are an MD, to diagnose. We can prognose, which is a fancy word for, you know what, guess, okay? So opinions are like cell phones, right? Everybody has one. But for an accurate, true assessment of your scalp and what it needs, you need to be like Kool Mo D and do what? Go see the doctor, okay? Do not play doctor over your head, because sometimes this stuff can be indicative or a precursor to something else that's going on, and this could be what we call subclinical. So don't mess around with this stuff, guys. Don't play doctor on yourself. please, 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 please don't do it, okay? All right, so number one, you really don't need to put this stuff on your scalp because your scalp makes its own oil. Now, the cultural practice of doing this right now, in today's modern time, it's really stemming from racism, number one. Number two, and just good old-fashioned ignorance. You know, people, they just don't know. You know, so a lot of people are holding on to practices from during a time when black people were not allowed to do their hair, number one. Number two, they didn't have access to stuff to do their hair. And then number three, maybe during an era where these things were just not even available, like running water. So I love to go on the platforms and share with everybody. I'm 53 years old, okay? I can recall when I was growing up, my sister and my cousins and I, we had to take a bath in the same water. I know they're like, ugh, that's nasty. It's nasty today, but back in the day, hey, our parents couldn't afford them hot water bills, and so everybody just got in the tub and took a bath together. Well, we don't do that today. So that's one of those things that some people hold on to some old ancient stuff. And so greasing the scalp is one of those old ancient practices that you just can't be using to pretty much style your hair. Now, when can you actually grease your scalp? Now, you do have pomades like this one here that's formulated to carry the ingredients into this hair bulb to nourish your hair. So you can, but that's very slight now. This is not medicine. Now, I know what people are saying. Oh, back in the day, you know, our people didn't use medicine. What history are you reading? What history are you reading? Africans really pioneered the use of medicine in so many ways beyond what any plant, any flower, any herb could even conceive. After all, this is the foundation of what medicines are actually used from, but they had to take it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? They had to kick it up a notch and say, you know what? These herbs are only doing so much. We got to come up with some better stuff. And that stuff would be called medicine. And medicines are definitely for people who are in situations where, you know, herbs, juices, and berries just won't cut the mustard, okay? Now, in some cases, you're going to be okay, but we're talking about people who are genuinely, authentically certified medically fragile. You do not want to play doctor with your health or over your head, okay? So greasing the scalp for superficial purposes, to help carry in some ingredients, to offer some nourishment, to help just give it a little boost, is about as far as the FDA will allow this to go. Now, I know what people are saying, I don't trust the FDA. Well, I've been to countries that don't have these types of people in place, and let me just tell you, you want to trust the FDA, okay? Especially when it comes to your hair. Maybe with the coronavirus, you don't want to take the vaccine. But for your hair, you better trust the FDA, okay? You bet to, because you don't know what people are mixing up in these bottles, okay? So you have to be very, very careful, all right? So also, when you do put these things on the scalp, here's what they don't tell you at the hair salon. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up on this final point. And that is, when you put all of these products, let's say you decide to make your own concoction. Now, these are all great hair care products, every single last one of them. But each one of them have their very own set of what? Instructions. So you're not going to find these companies asking you to concoct. But let's just say there's something in here that's not in here, or something in here that's not in there. So if you want to do two, it's all good. Okay, maybe you say, well, it's two of them in here, but one of them isn't. Okay, so maybe, that's a far reach, maybe three. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 products together, hey guys, you are what KRS-One would say, you're headed for self-destruction, okay? Don't concoct and put this stuff on the scalp. And here's where I'm going with this. When you take those strange concoctions that you swear, because this is what your grandma did, okay? So here is where the cultural practice versus the science, which is going to kick y'all out the window. Are you guys ready? When you do that, right, you send a message to the brain That oil that you think is so good because we black and this is what our hair need. We were told okay, guys, so here's what you don't take the hair salon. When you do that, you send a message to this part of your brain that secretes this oil. And you know what happens? It won't make any. I know y'all like, girl, lie. You got to be kidding. No, I'm telling you the truth according to scientific proof. Not he say, she say. Not these cultural practices that are, passed down or contrived. They're made up. They're conceived, I think. Well, that's what grandma nay and oh no, that's okay. We all got to start somewhere. But remember, and I'm just going to steal this term from Brother Unc West. We're space-age Africans, guys. If you want to pull the race card, we have evolved so much in humanity you would not believe. Not only are we the first group of people that peopled and civilized the planet, but we're also the people who introduced all types of sciences to the world that other cultures created and made their own. So as you go across the globe, you will find science in many, many cultures that far exceeds what you can find in nature. So we know that nature is good. We ain't gonna knock it. But for those people who have serious scalp conditions, number one, remember that could be a precursor to something that's subclinical, meaning it hasn't been caught yet, it just hasn't brewed, okay? Or number two, you could be making matters worse, such as causing the body to not make the oil itself. So I know what you're saying. I don't believe that. Well, you better, okay? Now I'm gonna tell you why you want to believe it, because you can end up with certain conditions such as like psoriasis, dandruff. These things can be exacerbated by using these techniques in excess. Now I call this a classic case of product overkill. Now, I ain't gonna lie and say I've seen somebody's hair fall out from putting, mixing up 20 jars of grease and oil in a bowl. I've never seen that, I'll be honest. But what I do see is a lot of money. The beauty industry, we charge, by the hour to get this stuff out of your hair. Number one. Number two, Afro hair likes to fold back to the scalp. So when you go to put all this goo on the scalp, you're preventing the hair from doing what it naturally likes to do, which is what, Carlia? Poof! That's the beauty of Afro hair, that people are always trying to do what? Train. Have you ever heard that? I'm just gonna train my hair. You will never in your long-legged life, come on, hit it with, no, I never, ever in my long-legged life, you're never gonna be able to train Afro hair. It's never gonna happen. Can you tame it? Of course you can, but you cannot train this hair because it naturally is just designed in our DNA to do what? Respond to the moisture in the air, and that is the absolute, just the 100% unequivocal, without a doubt, that's the beauty of Afro hair, is that it just does this flowering like no other texture that makes people go, girl, what's up with your hair? Or boy, what you doing in your hair, okay? So it's like, I'm being natural, okay? So this is Nanette, all right? So if you have hair like Nanette, then do not put all of that stuff on your scalp. If you want to put a little on there to carry in some herbs and some essential oils, okay, but remember, you're talking about a small percentage. If you think you've got something going on your scalp, such as dandruff, eczema, psoriasis, all of these skin disorders, you need to go see the doctor. Do not play doctor over your head with plants, herbs, taking vitamin E pills, popping them. Y'all stop doing that stuff, okay? That's some cultural stuff. It's all right to play around with it, but for us, in all seriousness, when there's something going on with your scalp, you need to not do these things, okay? All right, guys, that's it. It's time for me to get back to work. If you have any questions or any topics you want me to cover, don't forget to drop them in the chat. Check out my nail polishes. They are available in my Amazon store as well as at my Shopify account at Global Hair Care. Or you can come here to the Reverence Design Team Hair Salon and buy everything, the books, the products, the hair care, the hairstyles. You can't buy me, I ain't for sale. But I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know, Audrey. Maybe I am for sale. Who knows? My customer like, girl, bow. Okay, boy, wow, all right. Okay, guys, you know what I said when I'm always signing out, right? A whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, most certainly a whole lot of hair. And if you ain't got no hair, don't want no hair, can't stand hair, but you still like watching hair porn? Don't worry about it, guys. Just rub your beautiful bald head. Tell them, Audrey, why? Because bald heads are most certainly beautiful too. Don't forget the Wright Polish. Deuces.